This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.
All we had was chemistry. Our D-line tore shit up, excuse my language. Our O-line had perfect chemistry. We all got our feet right. Our defense held them all in. Our O-line kept the ball on the field, and we scored every time. That's how we do it. Okay.
Oak Hill's running back Martinique Finn runs wild, an incredible 331 yards rushing and leading the Bulldogs to a convincing 35-26 victory over Apple Valley for the Mojave River League Championship. The 5'10", 180-pound senior scores twice on runs from 5 yards out. Quarterback Josh Stewart runs for one touchdown, this the game's first, a 27-yard run. Josh Stewart's 27-yard touchdown pass to Mikey Delgado puts Oak Hills up 20-14 on their final possession of the first half. Jeff Widener accounts for all 4 Apple Valley touchdowns, scoring twice on runs from 1 yard out and throwing 2 scoring passes. This 5-yard TD pass to Tyron Smith, this 6-yard scoring strike to Chaz Smith pulls the Sun Devils within 1, trailing 27-26 early in the fourth quarter. Here's how it all unfolds. 60-plus in Bulldogs black uniforms taking the field. 24 are seniors. It is seniors' night. The Sun Devils' sights set on win number 10. They have won 19 consecutive regular season games. Oak Hills goes right to work exposing some weaknesses in Apple Valley's overall game, beginning with kickoff coverage. Jalen Phillips immediately puts the Dogs in excellent field position, running it back to the 33. Jalen Phillips, 5'10", 160, one of the 24 seniors in his final regular season home game. Martinique Finn, first of 34 carries for number 32, gain of 3. 3 for the Sun Devils, Jeremy Justice II among the tacklers. This sportscaster commented to one observer, Martinique Finn came as Walter Payton for his Halloween costume this night. Martinique Finn certainly displays the strength, speed, and extra effort of the NFL all-time rushing leader until Emmitt Smith surpassed his 16,726 yards. The first of Oak Hill's many holding penalties backs this drive to the 27 before Josh Stewart scrambles, cuts off Jason Rodriguez's block, and races 27 yards, untouched, to break the ice on a last Friday in October that is far too warm for any ice to appear, literally. 6th rushing touchdown of the year for the 6'2", 200-pound signal caller, who will have a near-perfect performance this night. 7-0 Bulldogs, 2.5 minutes in. Xander Witt takes the Jacob McGarvey kickoff and returns it to the 32, where Jeff Widener and company set up shop on their first possession. 6-yard completion to Tyron Smith on Apple Valley's first play from scrimmage. Ty Smith, the 6', 170-pound sophomore wide receiver. Middle linebacker Doron Mitchell, 8, puts the stop on Jeff Widener, forced from the pocket. Doron Mitchell, 6'1", 230, a senior. It brings up a 3rd and 3 at the 39. Noah Renteria stiff arms one defender and gets a pancake block from Gabe Sadi Jr., carrying for a first down. But the Apple Valley offense beleaguers itself with numerous penalties that interrupt their momentum, frequent illegal substitution infractions, putting the team in long yardage situations. This is 1st and 15 back at the 38. Gain of 6 on the completion to Jeremy Justice. We go to 3rd and 9 at their own 44. The first of Jeff Widener's long runs of the night brings the ball into the Oak Hills red zone, backed up yet again by an illegal formation call. Jeff Widener, first completion of the night to leading receiver Xander Witt. First down Sun Devils at the 6. To Jeremy Justice, to the 1. And on the next play, Jeff Widener follows 250-pound center Connor Felton and his interior O-line across the goal, and the Sun Devils have tied it at 7. 4th rushing touchdown for the 6'2½", 195-pound senior quarterback. We are exactly at the midway mark of the first quarter. This play may not look like much, but actually it is huge. 6 yards on first down. Martinique Finn behind 74 Manuel Fierro, 295-pound sophomore. Big 77, Nafoa Fiatulafono, 6'3", 305, a senior. Bigger 75, Jason Rodriguez, 6'7", 330. 73, David Ibarra, 6'5", 312, another senior. Offensive coordinator's dream, getting 6 rushing yards on first down. Center Ben Coffer and right guard Manuel Fierro block down, and Martinique Finn zips right through the first would-be tackler, gain of 10 this time on the first down carry. Then 43 yards on one of Martinique Finn's longest runs of the night, all the way down to the Sun Devils' 17. Martinique Finn comes in, averaging 9 yards a carry. His 331 yards tonight give him 1,323 on the season. On 2nd and 11 at the 18, Josh Stewart sets up, tucks it in, and takes it in himself. 80-yard scoring drive in 8 plays, all running plays. 14-7 Bulldogs, 2:46 showing on the first quarter clock. Josh Stewart carries 6 times this night for 71 yards and the first 2 touchdowns. Watch 34, Brandon Brooks leading tacklers on Xander Witt. On the kickoff return, Brandon Brooks, a 5'9", 175-pound senior and special teams standout. This is what happens on most of Apple Valley's running plays that are not Jeff Widener scrambles. 44 is senior George Patonas from his defensive end position on this play. This is what happens when Jeff Widener does scramble on most occasions this night. First down after a pickup of 11. Last play of the first quarter, Jeff Widener to Chad Smith for a first down. Jeff Widener completes 18 passes this night for 236 yards. This second Sun Devils possession has to overcome a holding penalty that moves them back to midfield. Jeff Widener's screen pass to Xander Witt overcomes the penalty yardage and gives Apple Valley a first down at the 23. On a 2nd and 10 at the 23, outstanding effort by Kenyard Edwards Jr., the junior running back, reverses field and picks up 18 yards for a first down at the 5. Kenyard Edwards comes in, averaging 10 yards a carry on the year. Next play, Jeff Widener rolls left and threads the needle with the picture-perfect pitch to Tyron Smith. This is called throwing the pass where only the receiver can catch it. 46th touchdown pass on the year for Jeff Widener, and 8th caught by Ty Smith. The Sun Devils have tied it at 14, 1 minute into the second quarter. We pick it up after an exchange of possessions with 4.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Oak Hills resumes grinding out yardage on the ground. The first of Martinique Finn's touchdowns from 5 yards out caps the 73-yard drive and puts the Bulldogs back in the lead, 20-14. The Sun Devils move to execute another of their patented end-of-the-first-half scoring drives. Jeff Widener's long completion to Jeremy Justice, bringing the ball to the 25. Watch junior linebacker Jason Crawford, 3, this sack. A lethal dose of 1 part Bulldog sack, 1 part Apple Valley penalty kills this Sun Devils drive, and the teams go to the locker rooms at halftime. Oak Hills leading 20-14. Apple Valley's major tasks to address at halftime: tame the Bulldogs' sack attack and slow down Martinique Finn and the Dogs' ground game. The third quarter is essentially a stalemate. The Bulldogs resume their heated and highly effective pass rush, while offensively, Coach Robert Kistner reaches deep into his playbook and pulls off the successful screen pass to his fullback, overcoming a holding penalty 3rd and long and bringing the Dogs into Sun Devils territory. Martinique Finn picks up 5 on a 4th and 3 from the 30. Sun Devils leading tackler Jesse Griggs, 42, leads teammates, holding Martinique Finn to no gain. 5 is cornerback David Blocker, Jr. Another Bulldogs holding penalty and a stiffening Sun Devils defensive interior stifle Oak Hill's first drive of the second half, which ends in a missed field goal attempt. Back-to-back Jeff Widener completions, escaping the pass rush and hitting Chad Smith here, then drilling the ball to Xander Witt, and the Sun Devils are to midfield. Bulldogs senior Adrian Tamayo is having his best game of the season. This is third sack so far of quarterback Jeff Widener. Adrian Tamayo, 5'10", 190-pound linebacker, recording his first sacks of the season in this most important game of the year. The sack, combined with another Apple Valley holding penalty, moves the visitors back to their own 39. Jeff Widener's completion to Xander Witt rejuvenates the drive, first down to the 21. Final play of the third quarter, Jeff Widener rolls, fakes, and keeps, carrying to the 6. 15 of Jeff Widener's 113 rushing yards this game. First play of the fourth quarter, Jeff Widener to feisty Chad Smith, and the Sun Devils pull even at 20. Ninth TD reception for the 5'11", 185-pound senior, 47th scoring pass for Jeff Widener. Coach Matt Rohrbaugh's halftime offensive objective being accomplished. Not so for the defensive adjustment. Martinique Finn about to break loose big time again. This Oak Hills possession begins at their 22. Even greater display of Martinique Finn determination and extra effort, refusing to be brought down on initial contact, breaking a tackle, and carrying to the 23. Next play, Josh Stewart scrambles and carries for what looks to be the go-ahead touchdown, only to have it called back on yet another Bulldogs holding penalty. Another holding penalty on the next play backs the Bulldogs back to the 37, where it's 1st and 24. Martinique Finn, gain of 7 before Sam Jang 11, Noah Renteria 2, and Ryan Webster 17 combine to bring him down. 2nd and 17 from the 30, Josh Stewart sidearms it to Tamari Ford, the 5'9", 157-pound senior. Josh Stewart attempts 4 passes this game, completing 3. The next, the most important. Given time, Josh Stewart steps up and lofts it to the streaking Mikey Delgado, 27 yards for what proves to be the game-winning touchdown. Mikey Delgado just having received the medical release enabling him to play. He's recovering from severe knee injuries. 27-20 Bulldogs, 7:24 to go in the showdown at the Dog Pound. Apple Valley's retaliatory possession begins with a 1st and 20 at their own 10, thanks to back-to-back illegal substitution penalties. Jeff Widener leading the long trek back, a pair of major penalties against the Bulldogs. Holding, then unsportsmanlike conduct greatly aid the Apple Valley cause. This play from the Oak Hills, 48. Xander Witt, the acrobatic grab, gain of 21 to the 27. Xander Witt comes in, averaging 25 yards per reception. He lists at 5'11", 180. Does David Blocker Jr. haul in Jeff Widener's 48th TD pass of the year? No, the official rules the ball hits the ground when the senior wide receiver dives into the end zone to make the catch. Instead of 6 points, Sun Devils, it is 2nd and 10 at the 27. Jeff Widener, the fake to Chad Smith, straight into the teeth of the Bulldogs defense, 26 yards to the 1. The Sun Devils a yard away from tying the score, riding a wild wave of momentum. The game-tying touchdown comes on the next play. Now it is decision time for Coach Matt Rohrbaugh. Go for 2 and the lead, or kick the conversion to tie. 4.5 minutes remain in regulation. The decision is go for 2, and the Sun Devils convert, but a holding penalty nullifies it. Then an illegal substitution penalty moves them back to the 17, and an incomplete pass ends the attempt to take the lead. Oak Hills maintains the 1-point advantage, 27-26. Apple Valley's kickoff coverage team fuels their comeback optimism, dropping Jalen Phillips at the 20, sophomore Dominique Solis 20 among the tacklers. But what Oak Hills does next not only dashes Apple Valley momentum, it puts the game away for the Bulldogs. An 80-yard scoring drive. Martinique Finn smashing through the Devils' defense, ripping off huge gains on 4 consecutive carries. The drive ends on Martinique Finn's 5-yard touchdown, essentially sealing the win for the Bulldogs. Oak Hills goes for a 2-point conversion, and Martinique Finn's carry into the end zone makes it a 2-possession situation for the Sun Devils to rally. A minute 19 remains. The Ben Coffer sack is a crowning point as the Bulldogs regain the Mojave River League crown. The final score, Bulldogs 35, Sun Devils 26. Oak Hills opens postseason play hosting Chaparral in the Division IV playoffs. Apple Valley is at home in Division V's Round 1, taking on Diamond Ranch.
Down Home Grill Online Sports Report. Action highlights brought to you by Down Home Grill. Burgers from organic grass-fed beef. Breakfast from organic eggs. Great food, homemade, GMO, and many gluten-free.
Down Home Grill is open daily, 6 in the morning till 10 at night. Located at the corner of Nutritious and Delicious, Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive in Victorville. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. Serrano kicks off postseason play, traveling to 5-5 Cyprus, the second-place team in the Empire League. Coach Casey Mihalchik's Diamondbacks finished regular season play 7-3, the third-place team in the Mojave River League. This Division VI matchup Thursday. MRL champions Oak Hills hosts Chaparral. The Bulldogs are 8-2 entering the postseason, seeded 4th in Division IV. The Chaparral Pumas from Temecula are 5-5, a third-place team from the Southwestern League. Apple Valley, the second-place team in the MRL, hosts the Diamond Ranch Panthers from Pomona. The 9-1 Sun Devils fell to the number 5 seed in the Division V playoffs after the loss to Oak Hills in the MRL title game. 7-3 Diamond Ranch, second in the Hacienda League. Sultana is the area's lone at-large selection in the postseason. The Sultans open at Division VIII powerhouse Hdsr. Desert Sky League champions Silverado are at home Friday, taking on West Ranch in the Division VI playoffs. Coach Rafael Genorio's 5-5 Hawks opponent, West Ranch out of Valencia, is 8-2. Those Wildcats' only losses in Foothill League play. DSL runners-up Adelanto makes its first postseason appearance in football playoffs. The Saints hosting Coach Leland Udy's Riverside Prep. This is the lone opening round playoff pairing between 2 Victor Valley schools. They are in Division 13. Coach Gali Wadood's Saints will be heavily favored over the small school Silver Knights from Oro Grande, who went 4-5 overall. While Riverside Prep may feel slighted, paired up against a much bigger school, another Division 13 team is overlooked altogether. The DSL third-place Granite Hills Cougars lost by but 3 points to Adelanto, beat Riverside Prep 33-10, and finished 7-3 overall, but were not selected to make the 16-team field in the Division 13 playoffs. This online sports report presented by Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, supporting teams, schools, and athletes throughout the Victor Valley. The Victor Valley College Rams play their final 2018 home game Saturday against San Bernardino Valley. This Griner Throwback Thursday flashback takes us back to VVC's very close victory over those Wolverines in the last home field encounter against San Bernardino Valley. This is 2016.
Victor Valley College comes from behind to defeat San Bernardino Valley 21-20. Malcolm Bynum scores all 3 Rams touchdowns. The game winner comes 5 minutes into the fourth quarter. The victory ends a turbulent VVC campaign with a 6-3 record.
It's been a tough year all the way around. You know, we have fought through so much adversity. We have so many guys who've had to step up.
Middle school student robotics teams will compete at the second annual First Lego League High-Desert Regional Tournament November 10th at Vanguard Preparatory School in Apple Valley. This year's national theme is Into Orbit. Middle school students in grades 4 through 8 will be challenged to explore the vast expanse of space through solving a real-life problem and through building, testing, and programming an autonomous robot to solve a set of missions in the robot game. Teams are judged by community and industry leaders in 4 categories: robotics challenge, robot design, core values, and a research presentation. The 4 top teams advance to the Southern California Championship at Legoland in December. Last year, 16 high-desert schools competed, with winners including the Vanguard Nuclear Narwhals, Barstow's STEM Academy, and the Apple Valley Unified School District Mariana Academy team, the Undying. Adrian Bender was honored posthumously on Veterans Day 2017, the tribute recognizing Adrian Bender's distinguished and decorated service in the United States Army. His brother, Dennis, receiving the award presented by the First Family Church, their 5th annual ceremony recognizing a local veteran.
This year we picked a very special veteran. His name is Adrian D. Bender. And his family is here today, and so we want to honor them today by honoring their brother.
And today we are extremely honored to present this award to Mr. Dennis Bender, the brother of Army Specialist 5, Adrian D. Bender, who died of cancer caused by the effects of being exposed to the chemicals in Agent Orange while fighting in Vietnam. Adrian was born in Needles, California on February the 4th, 1944. And in his youth, he was a typical happy all-American boy who enjoyed playing outdoors. He loved playing baseball, but he especially loved spending time with his older brother Dennis, hunting ducks and or geese together. And although their parents would let them play outdoors as much as they wanted, still there was 2 things they demanded of them as they grew. The parents insisted that they both get a good secular education and that they also receive good religious training. And according to what Dennis told me, it was impossible to escape either one of them, because if they walked out the front door of their house, the high school was right there across the street. And if they walked out the side door of their house, there stood the church that they attended. Adrian was an excellent musician also. His main instrument of choice was the saxophone. He played both the alto and the tenor sax. Adrian worked on the railroad while putting himself through college. Soon after graduating, he became the band instructor at Apple Valley High School. And according to his brother, Adrian taught for only a few months before joining the United States Army. He was inducted on 17 September 1968. He spent basic training at Fort Ord and then was sent to Vietnam. While there, Adrian was part of a group that went to Cambodia during the months of May and June of 1970. This group encountered the enemy and captured tons of weapons, military vehicles, ammunition, medical supplies, and even took control of a Mercedes-Benz and a Porsche. During this invasion, complete hospitals, mess halls, and bunker complexes were destroyed. setting the enemy back and giving the United States Army time to withdraw so that the Army of South Vietnam could take over the mission. But unfortunately, like in so many other instances, the Army of South Vietnam was unable to stand against the enemy, and they failed in their part of the mission. It was during this time in Cambodia that Adrian and his fellow soldiers had to walk through dead and dying shrubbery that had been sprayed with Agent Orange. Within a year or so of his contact with this chemical, Adrian began to have growths and sores appear in his body. But at first he did not associate the sores with the fact that he had been exposed to this deadly chemical. Within 2 years of getting out of the service, his brother would have to take him to the hospital to be treated for these sores. The doctors told Adrian that as long as the growths and the sores remained outside the body, he would be okay. But if they ever began to grow inside the body, they would become deadly. Specialist 5 Adrian D. Bender passed away from cancer due to the effects of Agent Orange on February the 9th, 2003. Specialist 5 Bender was awarded the following medals for his service: the National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, the Air Medal, and the Bronze Star Medal. I'd like to read what was written on that citation when he received the Bronze Star Medal. And I quote, "The President of the United States of America, authorized by executive order on 24 August 1962, has awarded the Bronze Star Medal to Specialist 5 Adrian D. Bender, United States Army, for meritorious achievement in ground operations against hostile forces during the period of 1 March 1970 to 30 June 1970 in the Republic of Vietnam. Given under my hand in the city of Washington this 14th day of July 1970, and it was signed by Jonathan R. Burton, Brigadier General, United States Army." And as I said earlier, Adrian Bender suffered much because of his willingness to serve his country. He suffered physical, emotional, and spiritual pain because of what he was called to do while in the military. But you know, if he was here today, we'll present Adrian will tell us to don't make such a big deal out of it. I was just doing my duty. And like so many of you that are sitting here today, he would tell us, don't make me out to be a hero. Don't put me on a pedestal. But please, just try to understand that what I went through in combat has affected me forever. The sights and sounds of watching my fellow soldiers fight and even die has left an everlasting impact on my soul. And please try to understand what is going through the heart and the mind of an old veteran as he salutes Old Glory, as the bugler plays taps, or as he listens to the Star-Spangled Banner. Greater love has no one than this, that someone laid down his life for his friend. Specialist 5 Adrian D. Bender served his country with honor and distinction. And although his life here on this earth was short, still he left a lasting impression on all who knew him. With that, I'm going to call Mike Gallucci, and as we present this award to Adrian's brother, Dennis Bender, I would like to say that Mr. Dennis Bender has been one of the most loved and well-respected teachers to ever come out of Africa.
Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Ewan Zach Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. and by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.